Welcome to another episode of Fusing the Unfusable. I'm very happy today to welcome back Alaa Dalghan. Nice to have you back, Alaa.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me again.
So, for those of you who don't know, Alaa is a seasoned AI expert that has a master's degree in computer and communication engineering from AUB, American University in Beirut, with over 18 years of experience here in the Gulf region, helping businesses and government entities adopt technology. Specifically, he's an AI expert. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be back.
You regularly speak at a lot of conferences, and you're a fan of blockchain. We've asserted that.
Big fan.
And it's been quite a few months since our last session.
Yes, 10 months or so.
Let's jump in. We have so many things to talk about, and I wanted to ask you first, what would you say is the biggest change that's happened since from 2024 to 2025 in AI and blockchain?
There's a new change every week, Karim. Just keeping up with the changes is a full-time job. Obviously, the big trend that everybody is talking about at the beginning of 2025 is AI agents. And I spend a lot of time helping my clients distinguishing between the hype and the reality of AI agents. To be clear, AI agents are still at their infancy, but also it is true that all the big labs are investing time and effort in the direction of agents. So, what is an AI agent? I can define it to you in two dimensions. First, an AI agent is an AI that can do stuff rather than just say stuff. And number two, an AI agent is an AI that has deep thinking or system 2 thinking, as Daniel Kahneman would describe it. So let's take each one of these dimensions. First, on an AI that can do stuff. So far, large language models have been talking to us. So if I wanted to book a trip to Greece, ChatGPT or Claude would design the best itinerary for me. But that's it. It stops here. An AI agent would go beyond this and would actually go to the website of the airline and book me the ticket, book the hotels, use my credit card to book transportations and museum activities and tours. So when we combine AI with APIs and with computer use and with internet access, we get the genie out of the bottle. And we move from an AI that can talk the talk to an AI that can walk the walk, or what Mustafa Suleyman calls it, a large action model rather than a large language model. And that's the start of an agent.
That's so interesting. And of course, how we know this is tied to blockchain is because these AI agents will have wallets, crypto wallets.
Absolutely. So one of the most exciting fields of research and of development today is the intersection between the AI world and the blockchain world. And the best example area for that is AI agents. AI agents will be before end of this year, as predicted by Dario Amodei from Anthropic, Sam Altman from OpenAI, Satya Nadella from Microsoft. By the end of the year, you'll be able to have virtual employees that you can assign actual tasks to, and goals and objectives. And it's not only a simple task, it's a task that needs planning, and they will be able to plan and go execute. Sometimes it will take them hours or days or weeks, and they will come back to you and ask you for clarifications if needed. So imagine an economy where employees are human and AI virtual, working shoulder to shoulder and next to each other. The best way to build an economy around these agents is the digital assets world and the digital currency world. You connect each one of them to a wallet, and then you can decide how to compensate them if they need compensation, or how to outsource them if you're building an army of these agents to outsource to other companies. It's a brave new world, Karim.
It is, and it can seem daunting or scary. And I like that idea that we are each going to have several agents working for us, and then our agents are going to be procuring services from other agents, and that will require compensation of some sort. But they will also be able to offer their services to other agents if they have the capacity, if we're not keeping them busy enough, to earn money from other agents and who are obviously owned by other entities, and be rewarded directly in their crypto wallets.
Absolutely. I mean, the first area that will see a big transformation when it comes to AI agents and virtual agent is coding itself and programming, Karim. So currently you have a lot of companies that use the business model of hiring a lot of developers and coders and software architects, and then outsourcing them to larger companies or to startup or to anyone who wants to build code or develop a piece of software. Imagine how much this industry will be disrupted when you can now start outsourcing or leasing agents, AI agents, instead of just humans. The coding and programming is referred to in AI as a verifiable domain. So it's not gray and open like creative writing or art. Coding and math are very verifiable. So you can train and fine-tune and learn AI models to do very, very accurate results. So the near future looks like every coding, low-level coding will be outsourced to AI, and every coder or programmer will be freed to think at a higher layer, to think in terms of architecture, in terms of feature, rather than just writing each and every block of code. I'm not sure if you're following the conversation between coders on Twitter. They're very excited about that, and they have a name for it, Karim. It's called vibe coding. The biggest trend today in coding is vibe coding. And vibe coding is, if you're a programmer or a developer, you're talking to your AI without reading each and every line that it's producing. You're just glancing at the block of code that your AI is developing, and then building on top of that by just telling your AI what you want them to do, and then just checking the general result of their work rather than going line by line.
This is really exciting. I think that, you will use the word disruption. I like to think of it more as supercharging, because I think that coders probably are going to adopt AI more easily than regular consumers or regular people. And I would be surprised if they don't supercharge their abilities and multiply it using agents and AIs. It's really exciting. I think it's going to take. So vibe coding, I didn't know the term. It's really gonna change things.
Yeah, that's the new hashtag, vibe coding, man. And I love the fact that you corrected me and said instead of disruption, it's augmentation, it's enablement. And I agree 100%. A lot of people ask me, they're afraid, will AI take my job? Will AI take my job? And my answer is always, it's not true that AI will kill 50% of the jobs, but it's true that AI will kill 50% of the tasks of 100% of the jobs. Now, the good news is it will take the tasks that we don't want to do, that humans we don't want to do. Let's be honest. Each and every one of us who works behind a laptop, we have 2 or 3 hours per day, maybe 4, of the work that we actually enjoy doing and we add value to, and we put our creativity and imagination and expertise in it. But we have a lot of time, more than 50% of our time is administrative tasks, boring tasks, logistical, bureaucratic tasks, paperwork. So the good news is AI will take all of this and will free us to do more of the creative tasks, or just enjoy some extra free time.
I'm laughing because I think one of the most hated things that I don't know anyone who likes doing that, is expense reports.
Absolutely.
That's going to transform it tremendously, right?
Very easy. You can already outsource all of this to your AI. I do it on the personal level. You know how whenever you download your bank statement, even on the personal level or on the company level, the bank statements are never clear, and every transaction has these you have to decode it. You have to it's cryptic to remember or to know which merchant was that. Usually the name of the legal entity is different. So now with AI, even with the current state of AI, you just download all these PDFs and you chuck them into ChatGPT or Claude, and you can generate out of it very easily a table, a editable table or Excel sheet, and then immediately get an analysis out of it, filtered by personal expenses versus business expenses, filter it by food and outing versus, software subscriptions.
And it will remember the previous one, so it will continuously learn. I did this, and I managed to, and this was last year, I managed to max out my ChatGPT subscription to the point that it just refused to go on. I'm keen to try it again. Because I think analyzing credit card statements, bank statements, is really important, so that you can track spending patterns and then adjust, how does it meet your budget and so forth. I think this is really, really interesting.
And it's making it super fast to do the tasks that you hate doing or you don't want to doing. So one of my consciousness raisers to my students, my clients, my family, my friends, everybody I talk to is start thinking of all the tasks that you hate doing, that are time consuming, that are low brain power work, but a lot of time, and try it with AI. You will be surprised. What I found out, Karim, is many people still use ChatGPT just to write better emails. They use it as Grammarly. They use it to write a fancier English email. And I keep telling them, you guys have a nuclear weapon in your pocket, and you're using it for the most mundane of tasks. I want people to change their mentality from AI can write better emails for me to AI is an assistant. Each and every one of us now is a CEO, and we have a personal assistant. And this assistant is a junior assistant. They're fresh graduate. He or she just finished college. They're very clever. They will do any task you give them, but they're junior, so you have to review their work, because sometimes they still make mistakes. But I want you to stop thinking, and I want everybody listening to us to stop thinking of ChatGPT as a tool to make us write better and fix our typos, and start thinking of it as an assistant. You have an assistant.
An intern of sorts, where you can teach them things, and they will keep that knowledge, and as they learn, it will keep updating and improving the quality of the work that they provide.
Absolutely.
It's really exciting, and it's always refreshing to speak to you, because you manage to boost my energy and my excitement about technology. We at Apex Fusion, we launched recently.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very exciting. I think we launched our token just over a month ago, or just coming to a month ago, and our layer 1. So, Apex Fusion is to start, it's a tri-chain architecture.
Yes.
So it's not just one blockchain. So we launched Prime, which is the layer 1, and we're over 200 stake pools right now, securing a decentralized blockchain that's already earning staking rewards for the token holders that have delegated. So that's really exciting. And our, we don't generally like to talk about money, but it is returning close to 10% for stakers, which is really, really good.
Absolutely.
So if you own Apex tokens and you stake them with a stake pool, you select the right one, you could be earning almost 10% in Apex per year on your stake, which is great. And what that's done is that it's decentralized, a bootstrap network, right?
Yes.
Where we just launched, and now our roadmap is going to indicate, and it's coming out soon. Really excited about that as well, because it's a beautiful roadmap. As we launch the second chain, which is Nexus, and Nexus is going to bring our EVM capability on top of Prime, and that's going to bring in DeFi capabilities,
smart
contracts, where they're going to be able to come in and take advantage of the staking at Prime. So where there are other protocols that are paying 2, 3, 4%, you're able to come in into Prime and then stake at that high rate. So
Awesome.
we're really excited about that. And now that we've launched, and that I'm very excited about venture building and adoption, we're starting to think about what we're going to be building on Apex Fusion, and what ideas the community are going to bring to us.
Absolutely.
And start to leverage some of the benefits and facilitation that the Apex Fusion Foundation will provide and support to help builders build on Apex. So there's a grants program, there's going to be a venture program, and so forth. So that's really exciting, and I can't wait to share that with the community.
Super exciting stuff. I have too many questions. I'm a big fan of that domain, but you obviously are much more immersed in it. So I have a couple of questions for you. First, on the infrastructure layer. So since my first involvement with blockchain, I saw that I quickly identified that one of the unsolved problems is this piping between different chains and the interconnectivity. Everybody was focusing on layer 2 and above, building the dApps, building the decentralized finance, building the application, but the layers below that were still in isolation. If you're on Ethereum, you're on Ethereum, and if you're on Cardano, you're on Cardano. So everybody was talking since the early days about interconnecting these. And I think Apex is actually bringing this vision to reality, bringing them to life. Tell me more about this.
It is. In fact, even the name of the podcast, Fusing the Unfusable, right? So Apex Fusion is about fusing several technologies, connecting them together. And we're starting with fusing Cardano with EVM, with Polygon, using Polygon technology. And because we thought some of the members of the team were on the Cardano side, and some come from the EVM side, and we thought, why not connect them? And connecting them and solving some of the problems. So it's not just the connection that we identified as being a problem, but it's also speed and security, right? The trilemma. And by having a layer 1 that is securing the blockchain, we can have layer 2s that are one is Nexus, which is the EVM chain, and then the other one is going to be Cardano, and then there are others that we will hopefully launch as well. We can have them much faster and cheaper, but secured by Prime, which is the layer 1, and having them on one token, right, is what provides that let's say added security. The fact that there exist other bridges between other blockchains doesn't stop us. So we are also planning bridges. So there's a bridge planned between Prime and Cardano.
Brilliant.
And others as well. But the whole point is to have that tri-chain architecture.
Yes.
So that we can have that operate with one token and provide the solution to the trilemma.
Exciting
so security,
stuff.
Speed, and cost.
Beautiful.
And one of the things I'm really excited about, and I'm keen to ask you if you've heard anything recently in government and in private entities, is this appetite for public blockchain. When I was doing digital transformation up until a few years ago, there was a big resistance to public blockchain because of data, having their data on a public blockchain. And before I ask you the question again, what we're doing with Apex Fusion, which is exciting, which you might be really interested in, is that we can layer a private blockchain on top of Prime.
Brilliant.
So a private blockchain would normally be limited to the number of nodes that private blockchain has. So for example, Estonia's ID system is on a private blockchain secured by nodes that are in each and every of their embassies.
Brilliant.
Okay. But if you wanted to secure it further, you would layer it on top of Prime and get the security out of the public blockchain. But the data would remain in the private blockchain. So it's almost like you're building on a tank. The tank gives you the security, and you have the freedom to do what you like, whether you want it to be private or public, and you have the speed. The tank is slow and secure, but you're on top of it. So you have the speed, but you're protected by the tank.
Brilliant.
This is the picture, more or less.
That's a great blend. Well, if you ask me, in my conversations with public and private entities, there is no one answer. When it comes to entities that for whom data is critical, and a matter of national security, there is no compromise on using public or permissionless blockchain. They definitely are going into the controlled and permissioned. There's the concept of sovereign data that everybody is working
which
on
we see
now.
in AI, and it's a big,
Which we
it's a
see
big
in AI.
issue in AI.
Sovereign AI is a big word now today, and sovereign data goes along with it. So this also applies to putting your data or your transactions on a blockchain. No, they definitely want it to be centralized, permissioned, controlled. So in this case, if we talk about the ethos of blockchain, we talked about that in the first our first podcast. You have the school that wants everything to be decentralized, and that considers anything that is less than decentralized fully or permissionless fully to be not real blockchain. And you have the school that says, no, even a centralized permission blockchain still has the added value of digitizing and maximizing the speed of legacy technologies. So it does have its uses for these public companies that need control with the new technology. This is where it's
privacy,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, privacy I think is a concern, and I think that with our setup at Apex Fusion, we're able to offer that. I'm really excited about offering that to governments in the region.
Brilliant. I'm also interested about the layers above that. So you already allocated funds to invest in venture building, in ecosystem building. The exciting stuff about ecosystem building is even if you're the most imaginative and creative person in the world, you won't be able to think of all the applications that the community would think of. So a million brains are always better than 1,000 brains, and 1,000 brains are better than one. So what is your strategy and what is your preferences to boost this creation of new applications and interesting stuff on top of your layers 1 and 2?
So that's a good question. So the foundation, the Apex Fusion Foundation, which is based in Zug, Switzerland, has that mandate, right? Has that to promote, and they have funds allocated, as you rightly said, for promoting building on top of Apex Fusion. And there are several programs. There's a grants program. There's an infusion program where if you have a stake pool, they will infuse some tokens into your stake pool so that you earn more rewards, right? Without giving you any funds, but they allow you to generate some income from staking. And there's also a venture building element, which is yet to be, I guess, finalized. And that's going to allow investments in ventures.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see how that pans out in the coming weeks and months as the foundation announces. And the grants program is also really interesting because it's a retroactive grants proposal or approach, which you can build something and then once you've done it, you've built it, you come to the foundation and say, look at what I've built on Apex, and they will fund you retroactively to cover your costs.
Brilliant.
So all this is being done to avoid waste and to avoid programs that initiatives that do not deliver.
Yeah, zombie dApps.
Yeah. So that's one thing, and I think we need to always refer back to the foundation because they are an independent, and in the end they decide. But this is what I know that they're working on. And I'm really excited about that. And as we move into this phase now, having launched Prime and then Nexus and then eventually Vector, as the roadmap will let us know, we'll be able to kind of plan what we can and can't do. But down the line, I feel in the coming years, maybe a year or two, we're going to be able to start to address public government initiatives that could take advantage of these public decentralized blockchains. And I've been having discussions with my friends in Haiti, where I used to live. And of course, as we see what's happened in Lebanon recently with the new government, thinking about how some of these governments that are strained financially should definitely look at the opportunity that public blockchains give them. Because much like we've talked about AI, decentralized AI, right? This idea of using secured public blockchains to run government systems, if you have a privacy element, is really, really enticing. Because if you think about it, it's almost at zero cost.
Yeah. And it blends together the privacy that the government needs with the transparency. Now, the question is, does the government that you're going to sell to, is it interested in transparency? When you talk about countries like Haiti, like Lebanon, like these countries, maybe the transparency will actually, that blockchain guarantees will actually be a deal breaker for them.
It might be, speaking frankly. I believe that they have challenges. And it is daunting, right, to go public with and have your data public, or use a public blockchain. And as you know, there's even talks about the Pentagon having their budget put on the blockchain because they want to bring that transparency.
Yes.
So if the US, which has the biggest budget in the world, which has $1 trillion budget for the Pentagon, and we know what's happening with their waste,
with
Doge and everything that's going on, bringing that transparency, why shouldn't others at least look at it and consider it? Citizens are demanding that. They're tired of paying taxes and paying for things that never get delivered. And in the end, I don't think they're going to have a choice because they're going bankrupt. They're all these systems are headed for challenges, financial challenges. And we can talk about, I don't want to get into too much into inflation and devaluation of currencies and so forth, but this is the only solution.
It's the only solution for many things. It's the solution for public spending transparency. Is the solution for digitizing and tokenizing real-world assets and bringing them to the blockchain. Is the solution to build an economy around AI agents. Is the solution to build a third or fourth or fifth option for international reserve currencies. It's a solution to many things.
It makes me laugh because I was having a conversation today and I was talking to a friend of mine who's working on a project, and he was considering not using blockchain. He was considering using legacy settlements for his startup project. And I basically mimicked or cartooned it for him, to use a term that one of our co-founders uses, is that why would you use a horse and carriage when you know there's a plane or there's a car?
Absolutely.
And this is the wake-up call. The wake-up call is, and the message should be to all these government entities, to all these department heads and ministers and leaders, don't go starting new projects using a horse and carriage when you know a car is available, it's much faster, more economical, and a plane is even available, and there are so many people here to help you. And because of the way blockchain ecosystems have been built, often these foundations do have the support that can actually help fund some of these initiatives.
Yeah, your message here is don't solve problems in 2025 using solutions from the 1990s.
Exactly, or 1800s.
Or the 1800s. But I'm very interested to know if you have any preferences or bias to what category of solutions and exciting applications should be built in the early stages on top of Apex. I mean, obviously, you want the ecosystem to be vibrant. You want it to have decentralized finance, right? Decentralized lending and borrowing, decentralized exchanges. You want decentralized securities and decentralized insurance. And that's all under DeFi. But you also want these government spending solutions and decentralized ID solutions and voting and elections. But you also want the gaming. It's a big business, gaming on top of blockchain, decentralized gaming. But you also cannot ignore infrastructure, decentralized file storage, decentralized compute, decentralized GPUs and AI. And we can't forget NFTs, decentralized art, and real-world assets. Obviously, long-term, you want all of these on top of Apex Fusion. What is your bias and your preference for the first stage? What should be built?
I don't think it's up to me, but I'll say this. First of all, I want to say that Apex Fusion is one of the most compliant blockchains out there. We had a FINMA ruling from Switzerland declared as a utility token before we even launched, and we are compliant by design. So we talk about that. So that's number one. So we are declared as a utility token by the Swiss regulator, and we're also working towards MiCA, the MiCA, which is the European regulation. With what's happened with meme coins, and we know what's happened with NFTs in the past. Obviously, this is something that I think was a stain or was brought issues or this reputation that we don't like to blockchain. So obviously we're myself personally I am and as a digital transformation consultant working mostly with government, and I'm leaning towards that utilitarian side. But you can't ignore gaming, and I think gaming has not taken off fully on blockchain, but I'm very excited to share here that we have at Apex Fusion several unique features. One of them is our reputation system, and our reputation system is so beautiful. I'll have the link in the description if I'm allowed to. It looks like a world-class game.
Awesome.
So we and the people that are working with, they love gaming and they have that creativity. So I'm hoping it's going to unleash that as well. So each person focuses on what they're comfortable with, and this is the beauty of an ecosystem and of a decentralized blockchain. You can't stop anyone from doing what they like, right? In terms of funding, that's going to be up to the foundation what they decide to fund. But I think a healthy ecosystem, like you said, should have a mix of everything.
Absolutely. No, brilliant. I want to just go back and address one of the things you said, which is that meme coins and a lot of scams have put a stain on the industry. I don't like to apologize, for this industry having scammers in it. Every industry has scammers in it. As the founder of Masari once said, we don't owe an apology to anyone. We don't need to walk on eggshells for everyone. Yes, this industry has scammers and charlatans and fake influencers, but it also has builders and hardworking people and businessmen and entrepreneurs and developers who are putting blood and sweat and tears to bring us, to deliver us a new world with a new financial system that fixes all what's broken in the old financial system. So yes, we had scams and charlatans and the Hacktua girl and the Trump coin and the Melania coin and all the scams that CoffeeZilla exposes in his YouTube channel. But we're not going to just accept that this dishonors the industry, an entire industry. The majority of people who are working in the blockchain industry are honest people and want a new, technologically enabled, better world.
I love that you bring that up, and I think, well said. But I'd like to say two things. First of all, on the meme coins, the CEO at Halate, the labs that are building, that is part of the Apex Fusion ecosystem, Jerry, he when Trump launched his meme coin, he tweeted about it, and he said he actually shared how he thought it should have been done, and his suggestion was it should have been minted, right, by one of the government entities, say the Fed, and it should have taken 20% of the tokens vested for Trump, okay, to be vested over 4 years. They should have airdropped one to every US citizen, right? Sold some on the market, and then the price, and him not take a salary, and then the price of the token based on the job that he's doing would go up and down depending on how well the public perceives it.
Brilliant.
So that was one way. So meme coins do have a place, right? Bitcoin is a meme coin, right? That has value, obviously, and maintained its value. But, meme coins and the way we use tokens, and I always go back to this idea, we're still in the stone age of crypto. We don't know what's going to come out, right? We're here tinkering around. We still don't know what's going to come out on the other end. So there are use cases. This is for as far as meme coins are concerned. And I think the fact that, people jump in, gambling, get in early, and then get disappointed when there's a rug pull is a good lesson. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been hurt, but you're right, we shouldn't apologize. And then the other point that I wanted to mention, and this is something that Armando, one of our co-founders, says, he wants people who work with Apex, who stake Apex, to earn enough to be able to earn a living doing that. And that's why they've designed the inflation, they've designed the tokenization in such a way so that if you stake, or if you have a stake pool and you have people stake with you, you can earn enough to earn a living. And that's our target. This is where we want to go. We want people to earn a living working in Apex Fusion.
And in a compliant way. So you'll be able to also go after not only governments, but institutions who would want to stake. And it's always been fascinating to me when I hear how progressive the crypto regulation is in Europe, but then how regressive the AI regulation is. As it seems today, Europe is regulating itself out of the competition for the AI market and the AI future. I mean, look at the top 10 contenders in the AI race. You will find most of them are Americans, from OpenAI to Anthropic to Microsoft, which is mostly in the camp of OpenAI, but they have their own things, to Google, to X, to even the open source ones like Meta. And then you have the Chinese players. Obviously, the biggest ones are DeepSeek and Qwen from Alibaba. But in Europe, you only have one contender in the top 10, and that's the French company Mistral. But still, you look at the EU and you find them patting themselves on the back for being the first to come up with an AI regulation with a lot of arbitrary thresholds. Thousands and thousands of pages of regulation that will make startups spend their money on hiring an army of lawyers just to make sure that they're compliant rather than to spend on innovation.
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing, right? Michael Saylor was saying that some of these countries are basically museums. And it's hard to talk about it without getting into politics, which we don't really want to do. But it is sad to see that they're really behind. Hopefully there's going to be an awakening. The US, with what's happening, obviously not everyone's happy about the politics, but on the tech side, obviously we're very excited about what's happening, and the new energy and the new funding and the new projects that are being announced. So hopefully they'll come around and realize that it's not a threat.
Yeah.
That they should invest, and this is the future. And as traditional as people can be and attached to their legacy and their history, in the end, technology does win.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, one of my friends was recently traveling to France after I showed him some of the latest features that you can do with your AI assistant, which is, I mean, you can have a two-way conversation with your AI assistant, and then your AI can see. You can just open the camera and ask them about your surrounding, and they
Augmented
talk.
reality.
Real reality. It doesn't need to be even. You don't need a layer overlaid on top of it of text or drawings. It's just your AI seeing what's around and talking to you about it. And then you have the screen sharing, when you actually show your AI what you're working on your phone or your computer, and have a conversation about it, whether it's a drawing and you have their critique, or whether it's an Excel sheet and you work together and you co-create a document or a plan or a strategy or everything. And I showed them all these features, and every one of us has these features today in our pocket, you know, in the standard ChatGPT app or other apps. And then my friend starts working with these features, and then in a week travels to France and calls me to ask me why did they just disable this feature this week? And I said, no, you're just in France, and OpenAI, to be compliant, or for fear of not being compliant of the big and ambiguous AI EU law, they disable most of these features in Europe. So there are a lot of AI features that everybody in the world is using today, except, unfortunately, our friends in Europe.
And we love Europe, right?
We do.
We have a deep love for that continent and everything that they produce.
Yes.
But we feel strongly that they should adopt technology, and they should really wake up and understand how important it is for the future of their people.
And we love Europe, not just from, you know, the cultural part and the touristic part and the nature part. Some of the smartest people I've ever met, Karim, are Europeans. And these smart people with this heavy hand of regulations are either just becoming complacent, or if they actually still have the fire, they're packing their bags and they're moving to LA or to Dubai. And that's great news for us to attract all these innovative people, but it's a brain drain for Europe.
It is, and I think that it's fear. It's fear. Governments are scared, and they're letting fear decide for them, and it's unfortunate. Hopefully, they'll come around. I'm really excited about what the future will bring. I'm excited about what AI and the AI agents.
Oh,
and I'm
absolutely.
leaving this session with you full of energy to go back and re-examine all my AI tools and maybe create an agent if I could. Alaa, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
We need to keep having these sessions over and over, because we learn so much from you, and hopefully the community will appreciate that as well. Thank you so much.
I can talk to you for hours. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you.